Hello guys, welcome to London Players Guild. My name is Peter and I'm bringing you another weird deck that I came up with for set 11 in Dragon Ball. Before we go to the deck profile, first things first, this video is brought to you by Card Market. Card Market is a brilliant marketplace where you can find all the cards you might ever need at the best prices possible. So make sure to check them out. If you haven't yet, it's the biggest marketplace in UK, in Europe even. UK not part of Europe anymore. And yeah, cardmarket.com is your place for card games, so make sure to check it out. We at LPG are using them quite often. And yes, happy holidays. I hope everyone had a good break. And today I'm bringing you the revived Lord Frieza. Okay, so today we're looking at the brand new reboot Mecha Frieza Resurrected Monarch. And as you can see on the screen, I took it in a very... it's a fan favorite way for me. I think a lot of people would be thinking along similar lines. But let's check it out. I think the deck is really strong and has huge potential. Maybe not in the way it is right now, but there are a few things that could be changed here. So first let's go through the leader. Frieza leader has new permanents, so you can only activate extra cards from your hand once per turn. They don't need to be yellowed. When you activate an extra card, you can't activate any more during the same turn from your hand. You can activate them from the drop area, which is interesting. Potential for the counter attacks from set 7, which activate from the drop area. When activating a mono yellow extra card from your hand, you can add one card from your life to your hand. If you do, you reduce the cost of that card by specified yellow. What does that mean? That means that if a card costs 1 and it has yellow cost in it, it can cost 0. If the card costs 2 with 2 specified yellow, it costs 1 yellow. If it costs 2 and 1 specified yellow, it costs 1 of any color. So it removes both the specified color and the specified cost and the energy cost. So it can make a card way cheaper, but it only works for mono yellow cards, so no way to cheat out multicolor extra cards, because I was thinking about that. And lastly, they gave it when attack, draw on cards. So this is what leaders back then didn't have on the front side. You didn't have a draw. So it's nice to see that it is upgraded. And the Awaken is at 4 life or less, you draw 1 card and switch 1 of your energy to active mode. And then you switch into Mecha Frieza Resurrected Monarch. So, worth mentioning, both sides are Frieza's clan and Frieza's army. For what it's worth, there are some weird strategies with that. So, in here we have a permanent. When activating a mono yellow extra card with cost 2 or less from your hand, you may add 1 card from your life to your hand. If you do, you activate that card without paying its energy cost. That means you can't cheat out like March of the Great Apes with this anymore, because it doesn't reduce the cost by 2. It activates an extra card with cost 2 or less cheaper. For free. So I don't really like that, because March of the Great Apes, I wanted to take it the ape way, but to activate cheaper March of the Great Apes, you would need to do it on the front side, and then it would cost free, and it's not much of a discount then. Auto, when this card attacks, draw 1 card, so that's fairly normal. But then it has another one. Once per turn, when you activate a mono yellow extra card from your hand, you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. So not only does your Flying Nimbus negate the attack and stop them from attacking, you can also switch 1 of their battle cards to rest mode. You can also do it during your turn, right? When you activate Planet Vegeta, you can rest something and attack into it, or rest the blocker and go for the game. And then we are also, of course, playing the Metacooler Mechanical Contempt. This is a unison designed for this leader, and they come in together actually in pre-release packs, so we play 4 of those. It's a specified cost of 2 yellow, 15,000 power, rejuvenate once per turn, cost is 5 markers. Auto once per turn if your leader card is yellow Frieza card. When you activate a yellow extra card with cost of 1 or more, original cost, so before the reduction, from your hand, you add a marker to this card. So just by activating a card, he keeps on getting markers, and you can one during your turn, one during your opponent's turn, which is really good. And then +0, activate main, you place 1 mono yellow extra card with cost of 1 or more from your drop under this card to draw 1 card. So it fuels itself for Rejuvenate, it draws you some cards. It's a really solid card. I don't think it's going to come in that often with that Rejuvenate, but it's nice to have Rejuvenate on Mecha Frieza especially. So playing a playset of those, because pretty much they're thematic, and I think they fit in here. I couldn't think of another unit that would work better here, and I couldn't think of another replacement. And then I started struggling what would be my win condition, because the initial thing I was thinking is, well, this can be essentially a turtle, right? You can play it with so many defensive cards. I decided to cut time, oh god, the Whis Negate. I don't remember what it's called right now, but I decided to cut it, the Sparking Negate, in favour of Death Ball. At least for now, as an additional removal. But as my win condition, I decided to choose the biggest, the bestest boy, and the most expensive card in the whole game, of course. Son Goku, the Awakened Power, the only non-yellow card in the whole deck, which is essentially a Victory Strike. You can pay 1 energy and place 1 Universe 7 card from hand in the drop area and evolve on top of Universe 7 Goku with cost 6 or more. This card's attack and skills cannot be negated, and it has Victory Strike, so when it deals damage to your opponent's leader, you win the game. So it's a very old strategy. We're going to be going into Height of Mastery Son Goku, which has Deflect, Triple Strike, Dual Attack. It's a lovely 8 drop with 3 specified yellow, but we're never going to pay that. It has 35,000 power, and when you play it using Swap, you choose up to total 3 of your opponent's battle cards or energy, ignoring barrier, and switch them to rest mode. So there's more that resting that you can do together with your leader as well. And how we go into him, of course, Son Goku Path to Greatness. Like, this was the best strategy that was for Victory Strike in ages, and it still is a thing. So this is a 3 drop with 3 specified yellow, 19,000 power, barrier, which is important here. 0 cost 5k combo, but usually you're not going to combo it off. Swap 8, but to do the swap 8 you need to have 7 cards in your drop area, sparking 7, and pay 4 yellow. So swap works like this. You play a battle card with a specified statistics, in this case it's Goku's Lineage with cost of 8, from your hand, and then bounce this Path to Greatness to your hand. So you will always have that U7 card in your hand to discard for Victory Strike. The deck draws a lot, so unless the Victory Strike is at the bottom of your deck or very last card in your life, you will see it. It is very, very likely that you will see it. And when this card is played, you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, switch it to rest mode, and then draw 1 card. So it's always nice to draw that additional card here. As I said, you just drop this on turn 3. On turn 4 you go into Height of Mastery, or you go turn 5, Height of Mastery, and evolve into Awakened Power. We don't have Senzu, we don't have any shenanigans like that, sadly, so we can't go there. But what's important about this card is that it is a Saiyan. So Planet Vegeta comes in handy here. So the reason I decided to go into Victory Strike is because it gave me something to do during my turn. Extra cards to do during my turn, so I can actually fuel that Metacooler, and that if I want to self-awaken against slower decks, I can do that easily. So Planet Vegeta costs 1. It's a field card. At the end of your turn, you switch all your Great Apes to active mode. That's not the thing, because we don't have any Great Apes. But when this card is placed in your battle area, you choose up to 1 Saiyan with cost 4 or less from your deck and add it to your hand. This is just, you just play this, add Path to Greatness, or you add Vegeta Prideful Transformation, because he's also a Saiyan. That's the reason why he is in the deck, because you can search him. I was thinking of playing other cards, but in the end I wanted more of those search targets. I was thinking of Basil, the 1-drop Basil, but decided against it for the sake of having more targets for Planet Vegeta. Next we have Universe 7 Representative, which is again something you can do during your turn. So this card is always considered Universe 7 in all areas, so I'm not sure you can discard it for Awakened Power, but generally if you can search a Universe 7 card, you can search this. And it has no specified cost, which is funny. It's a 1-drop, non-specified cost. Activate main, you look at up to 7 cards from the top of your deck, and then choose up to 1 Universe 7 among them, add it to your hand. Because all of our win condition pieces are Universe 7, Height of Mastery is Universe 7, Path to Greatness, and Awakened Power, all are Universe 7, so you can add them with this. And it's another card that you can activate during your turn, because the rest of the cards are something you want to activate mostly during your opponent's turn. One of the cards that can be activated during either, which is very funny because you can activate this turn 1 in this deck, which, yeah, it's interesting, but your opponent needs to have some energy. So, Universe 9 Assemble, it's a 2-drop with 2 specified yellow, which we can get around very easily. It's activate main or battle, so you can just charge an energy during your turn, play Planet Vegeta for free by taking a life, or Universe 7 Assemble. Or Representatives even, sorry. And then have that 1 energy open, and then the moment your opponent plays something during their first turn and attack, you can just assemble, draw 2, because you take a life, reduce the cost by 1, and then you can play from your deck Chapil, the Iron Drake. 2-drop, 15,000 power, auto once per turn when an opponent's card attacks. You choose up to 1 of your opponent's energy and switch it to rest mode. It's a very simple card that reduces your opponent's energy, forces them to commit to plays before they start attacking. Especially if they're multicolor deck, you can very easily control their colors. So this engine is here because it filters through your deck, right? Universe 9 Assemble on its own represents, I think, 4 cards. 3 cards out of your deck, 1 card from your life, for 1 energy, which is an enormous amount of cards that you can see, and you can start using it from turn 1 onwards. The important thing is your opponent needs to have that rested energy, but in the worst case you can just play it as a 1 mana Saiyan Instinct. Pay 1 energy, and draw 2. It's still strong on its own, so I would not say no to that. From the other extra cards and good stuff that we play in here is, of course, a single one-off called Bloodlust, because the card is still limited. So counterplay if your leader card is Frieza's Army. The battle card played has its skills negated for the duration of the turn. Yeah. Nothing else to say about this. It's a very good card. Very versatile. And the fact that you can play it for free from your hand whenever you want is very strong. I mean, the card was defining formats for first couple of sets before it got limited. We play playset of Flying Nimbus. It negates the attack, then you can discard a yellow card from your hand and your opponent can attack only 1 time with battle cards for the duration of the turn. It stops lots of decks like Vegex, where they just spam the board very early. It can stop Dark Broly as well if there is a need for that. So there is lots of option to actually stop, and you have quite a big hand size, so discarding something that you don't need, like spare Chapils and spare Path to Greatness, spare Height of Mastery, there's lots of things you can discard here, so there's not an issue there. Death Ball! The card, this is actually not an errata version, the card has an errata. Activate Battle. If your leader card is a Frieza card, it gets plus 15,000 power for the duration of the battle. That can be done during either player's turn. And if it's your turn, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. So for this one, it didn't used to need to be Frieza leader or something like that. You could use it with any leader and during your turn just KO something. Sadly, right now it needs to be a Frieza leader and not a Frieza BR leader. So this card works with Mecha Frieza, obviously, because it is a Frieza card. And it's a very good extra card. You can use it as a spot removal if you need to, or you can use it as a very powerful defensive card. It's essentially an additional iconic attack rare, IAR, which is, I think, it's our next card, which is Vegeta's Final Flash. Activate Battle. If your leader card is yellow, choose up to 1 of your leader cards or battle cards and gets plus 15,000 for the battle. So the same as Death Ball, but for any yellow leader. And then if all of your energy is yellow when you activate this card, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring Barrier, and negate its skills for the duration of the turn. Again, a very powerful card that you can activate for free. Because in this deck you can just take a life and activate a card from your hand for free. And starting turn 1, as long as you have any energy, it's going to work. The counterplay I already touched on. It's mostly in here because it's a target for Planet Vegeta, and because on the front side you can only activate one extra card during each turn, you do need some additional defense. So the battle card counterplay that can be free played if you have Metacooler on board is something I was looking at. Problem is you need to find that Metacooler, so I might be considering something else. But that limitation on only being allowed to activate one extra card on your front side. You don't want to awaken on your opponent's terms, you want to awaken on your terms. So you need to be very careful how you awaken. So I think this will help just defend a lot of stuff. And on top of that, it's a blocker, so it can help you defend more stuff. It's going to be less of a surprise when you Planet Vegeta it, but it will also force your opponent to making weird plays. So I think you might end up on top of that. And my super combo of choice was Krillin, moments before comeback, mostly because it's a good card. I mean, let's be honest, this deck wants to see a lot of stuff. It wants to draw as many cards as possible, and if you see multiples of those, more often than not you want to put them at the bottom of the deck. Mostly to ensure that Victory Strike is not at the bottom of your deck so you can draw into it. And so yeah, on the final turn, if you attack with Height of Mastery, for example, and you just combo a bunch of those to find that Victory Strike to your hand. Yeah. So this is a super combo. If you have 4 or less life, all of your energy is yellow. When this card is used in a combo, it gets 10k power. Then you may choose one card from your hand, put it at the bottom, draw 2 cards. So this deck is essentially a turtle deck. You sit there, do nothing. Turn 3, drop your Path to Greatness, still have defensive because of your leader ability. Turn 4, go into Height of Mastery, and if you control yourself well, you awaken the same turn and go into Awakened Power. And then you're golden. Then you win the game from that point onward. Because you literally just swing with your Awakened Power, combo what you have, mostly being the Krillins, hopefully. And combo your whole board, every single battle card you have that you can combo, you combo with. So yeah, that's the deck. I hope you guys like it. And let me know in the comments what else would you play and how else would you build this Mecha Frieza, because I'm actually really curious. I like Mecha Frieza. Mecha Frieza was one of the most innovative formats I was playing, and don't at me, but I really enjoyed a lot of builds. The Buhan Frieza, the hand control Frieza, there was a lot of fun things to do with Frieza. And I really regretted that they banned it. No, they didn't ban it, but they errated it into oblivion. This one seems fun. It seems way more limited, but it still does what Mecha Frieza used to do, so I really would like to see more of that. It's a shame that at the moment we don't have that many good cards for it, and it took a lot that you can't use Senzu. And I think that's going to be the biggest issue. We would need something like a yellow Senzu. It doesn't need to untap energy, but give 5k for the turn. I think that's what the deck needs, really. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. It helps the channel, and then we can grow, and then we can give you more stuff like this, and hopefully get more spoilers from Bandai, which we did for the Draft Box 6. We got the black cards for Draft Box 6, I actually needed to remember that. And make sure to check out our channel as well for... What are we doing right now? We are doing Graded, where we grade cards from set 11 at the moment, and I think we are just about finished because we done green, and then we are just about to do our final grade for the set 12. It's 12, not 11. Vicious Rejuvenation. Thank you guys, and I'll see you around next time.